done. Everybody's pumped, everybody's happy. Some people want to redeem themselves from the first tournament. Some people are still working on their cars. Some people are still making adjustments to their cars. And we actually started making some adjustments to the rounds themselves. So one idea we had after the first round was a best of 3 final. Instead of just a one single race elimination final, we decided to try a best of 3, switching lanes. First guy to win 2 out of the 3 wins the tournament. Now we had another one of our guys show up with Adam, which means we had an odd field. So we're going to start the race with 9 drivers instead of 8, which means there's going to be bye runs. Well, Adam comes in and he's one of our wilder drivers. It's almost like he doesn't believe in throttle control. He just goes full out and he takes his chance. It's either he's going to hook and send his front end to the air, off the wheelie bar and down, or it's going to end up on its roof. Adam could be either one of the fastest guys we have, or sometimes costing himself a race by flipping over. Adam is one of our newer drivers. He actually bought his car off of Greg, and it was one of Greg's old drag cars that we used to run in the 3-cell class that we did years before. So Adam was somebody to watch for me because I have raced him when he is going very quick, and at this time of the year, he was really knocking on the door of challenging Greg for the fastest in the group. Greg and Alex were eliminated in the first rounds in our first tournament with a red light and also losing the post-race. So they were adamant to try to get back out there and really show what they can do, because I knew and they knew that they could do much more than that. So Alex drawing aces, he didn't have to wait long. He was first up against Ryan from Josh's group.
There.
So you can see Alex right off the gate, hard launch. He wasn't holding back this time. You can see a little correction when he gets to about just past half track. He lets off, straightens the car, and back in it, and you can see him pull away. That was one of the faster passes from Alex that I know we could see, and we didn't get to see in the first tournament. So next up was my race, and we had a little unplanned event at the beginning of this one.
What happened? Battery?
What happened, huh?
I got sparks coming from my motor.
The motor?
Yeah.
A little bit out there. Unless you got the player, don't worry about it.
That's why she's dying out.
About some ESC issues in the first tournament, cutting out or losing power. Now he's seeing sparks on the burnout. Decides to throw it out there anyways, which was great to see, and all the guys loved it. So unfortunately for Alan, he was still having electrical issues with the car. I get to breeze away from him and move on to the second round, but we really wanted to see Alan because I have seen his car make some fast passes when we visit them at the Mississauga lot. And I know he can do better than this, but he was just having some really bad luck this day. Next up was Greg versus Josh. Josh made it all the way to the final against me in the first tournament. He knocked out Alex convincingly, and his car looked like it was moving very good this night. Like I said before, Greg was one to watch. He was very quick, very consistent. So I was waiting for him to break out because he red lighted in the first tournament, and I knew there was more on the table for him.
gonna win. Good pass though for both cars.
Finger
Straight.
BS?
Yeah.
All right, left
Alex
moving
braking
on.
system.
So I think Greg learned from the first tournament. He was a little more patient on the light this time, and it was actually Josh jumping this time, trying to get a little bit of an advantage over Greg. Even though Josh held on and went first to the line, Greg automatically moves on because he didn't jump. And now we've seen Greg win his first race of the night. And now it was time for Adam's first race. He wasn't around for the first tournament, so this is his first race of the whole night. No idea what he's up against. We knew his car was pretty fast, but he had to take on Jabari from Josh's crew, who was getting faster and faster throughout the night.
Really off the bat. He's gonna take the right lane. Good race.
Nice run.
And just in typical Adam fashion, yanks the front end off the ground. He goes right a bit, but he's able to stay straight and finish the pass. And like I said, when he's able to do that, he is one of our faster guys. Jabari was getting faster throughout the night. This time he doesn't flip over, but Adam still puts a big gap on him at the end. So with the card draw, it's very simple. We throw a joker in there. If you draw the joker, you're gonna get a buy run. One rule we do have is once you get a buy run, that's it. You're guaranteed you have to race from there on. You can only have one buy for the tournament. So buy runs are interesting because if you're trying to test your setup or make an adjustment, you get a free shot to make a test hit. You don't have to worry about racing another guy or losing. You're gonna move on. So it's really interesting to see if some people decide to use it to either test something or some people just cruise down the track just to not break and move on to the next race. So Jason was having some issues in the first tournament. He gets to draw the joker and he gets the buy for the first round. This is an opportunity for him to throw a pass down, maybe see if his adjustments are going in the right direction or not. Jason was struggling to go straight, and I thought maybe a buy run here he would be able to at least try to launch. He decides just to cruise down, which may be a mistake. So second round comes up. Alex starts us off on the buy run. We just decided to get the buys out of the way. So Alex just cruises to the finish, and he's moving on automatically. And was moving on to our first real race of the second round. So it was my race against Greg, the first real race of the second round. And this was a big step for me to try to take on Greg. The races between me and Greg usually went based on reaction off the light. If I jumped out enough of him just to catch him sleeping at the light, I usually had enough to hang on and take the win. But his car does have a lot more top end than mine, and he could drive around me if I didn't get enough of a jump on him.
Feel the heat.
But Greg won anyway.
Lights come down, and Greg has a great reaction with me as well. I ended up going a little bit right and crossing over, which pretty much disqualified me from that race, but I stayed in it just to see where I was. Greg does pull away from me a little bit at the end, but it was a good race. There's an example of consistency coming to play. My car got a little squirrely and I had to correct, and that was all Greg needed to drive away. So Jason getting the buy in the first round, he automatically has to race from that moment on, and he draws Adam in the second round here. I'm not sure if Adam caught that Jason was struggling to get his car to go straight or not. We actually never really saw a full pass from Jason at this moment, so I'm not sure what was going through Adam's head, but he really just needed to be patient, and he probably had this race in the bag.
Contact, that's good.
Oh, nice.
So this time Adam doesn't take off so hard, just eases into it, gets it after, and he starts to take off. Jason can't keep up. This was Jason's best pass of the night that we've seen. Tumbles over a little bit past the finish line, but at least he made it there this time. On to our third round, we had Greg open it up with his buy run. That was the last buy run of this tournament, so he's automatically going to the finals just by drawing the card. That left a race between Adam and Alex to see who will meet him in the finals. So this one was a tough one because if Adam hits his launch, he could leave Alex behind and take off, whereas Alex is more of a get off the line and then go and pull in the top end. So interesting to see what was going to happen here between these two.
What a way to go!
It would have been a
I hope that thing's caged, otherwise that driver's gonna be in pain tomorrow.
This time, the run and gun style racing by Adam bites him as he goes hard right, has to try to correct, ends up flipping over. Alex gets off the line clean and just cruises to the finish. He's moving on to race Greg in the best of 3 final. So Alex was a little bit of an underdog here. Greg's car could literally do the same pass over and over if he really wanted to. It's going to take something special here from Alex to catch him, but anything could happen in a drag race.
That's 2 burnouts. Yeah, that's disqualified.
That was
disqualified right there. Oh my God, that was bad.
Did I actually beat you?
Yeah.
Nice. 1-0 for Alex.
When the hell does my car ever diff out like that, bro?
Alex came back fast, you know he's happy.
Proof again, anything can happen. Greg diffs out a little bit when he launches, kicks him over to the left, he has to correct. Alex ends up going straight, and he ends up taking the win by the narrowest of margins. It actually didn't look this close by the eye, but when we watched the camera after, it was amazing how close Greg still almost took the win. Greg also a little bit rattled about diffing out, and we're wondering if this was going to bother him mentally. Alex up 1-0 here. All he needs is one more win, and he takes his tournament.
There's a drop box where the front doors to the room. When you pull into where the service.
Clean again, and then we're going to the third and final.
Whew.
That was
right
close.
there.
I'm a liar, bud.
Alex.
Lights come down. Good reactions from both guys. They both take off pretty straight, and this was more of a normal race. If Alex doesn't get the jump on reaction time, Greg's car is just a little bit faster at the line, ends up putting a little gap on him. Ties it up at 1-1. We're going to a third and final deciding race for this tournament. So Greg seemed to have bounced back. I didn't think that first round diffing out was playing with him mentally like maybe we thought. Does a strong pass, ties it up. Now it comes down to this last race.
Greg took it. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Good job. Good racing though.
Sick.
That's damn. Wow, that was close.
Fuck, I know, man.
So a great side-by-side race to finish this off. What a way to end the tournament. Greg takes it by 2-1 in the best of 3. Just a little bit of a difference between them. We saw a little bit of everything. You guys enjoyed it. That was 2 tournaments, 2 BSO winners. We knew Greg's car was quick coming in. We knew Alex had his hands full, but what a fight that he put up. Taking the first race, surprised us all, put Greg in the hole 1-0, but he came back and won 2 straight, close racing, and that's just how we do it in the PSO.